महागणाधिपतये नमः महासरस्वत्यै नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् मूर्तित्वे परिकल्पितससभृतो वर्त्मा पुनर्जन्मनाम् आत्मेत्यात्मविदां कृतः सततां भर्तामरज्योतिषां लोकानां प्रलयोद्भवस्थितिविभुश्चानेकधाय श्रुतो वाचन्न सततात्वा किरणस्त्रैलोक्यदीपो रविः. After paying respects to Gurujis and Surya Bhagavan, today, as in the continuation of yesterday's class, we are going to discuss the Varahamira's astrological school of thought. So, yesterday I was telling about the mathematics and its importance. We will see today. Before going into the mathematical part, I would like to say a small story which is very important for our astrological learning. So, for astrology, we have planets and rashis, fine. But this is how the creation is being, and we are in the creation. But how the creation is started in the first instance. So, when we question that, nowadays, the science, modern science tells about the Big Bang theory, and that theory is, we'll see that most related to our learning of astrology. How? First, if you see this picture, is a point which is called Bindu or Nada. Nada is a Sabdam, Bindu is a light form. So, sound and light, if we can visualize it as a point, this point is the initial point, Brahma Tejas or Brahma Jyoti. Anyhow, if we say consider that it is a point, that point is of immense energy, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscience. So, this point is the starting of the both space, time, and itself energy. So, as soon as this point starts, it comes into manifestation in the form of particles. That means a point becomes a particle, which is called particle point theory, which is very important for our future learning of Varahamira Jataka. See, the point is a Big Bang energy, and that point, after certain time, it expands into, it starts here and it expands, and you can see the most ripples. All these ripples are time and space. So, this point, and from that point everything emanates or originates. So, this is can be visualized as a Nabhi or center of the all creation, and from that, as we see, so many particles which may begin to emanate, and they come in the form of universes. So, this model, when we see basically here, so if we see this particle expands into this way, and after that expansion, it forms into universe in the time and space. You can see here. So, as this time is expanding from the starting to going on expanding, and the universe is going on expanding. So, this universe, when we see inside, we have so many galaxies. So, here we can see these are all like galaxies or Sudarshana, Sankarshana, Balarama, whatever we can call later on. But all these are in the folded from single point. So, when they come into existence, what happens? These galaxies first initially is a star or simply a single uh, atom which is called hydrogen with a single proton in the center and one single electron in the orbit. So here the heaviest one is the proton and this is the lightest particle called electron. So the mass, here we can see the number is electron and here we can see the proton number, but electron is 1 unit and proton is more than 870 roughly times greater than electron. So hydrogen is 1870 or roughly we can say roughly 1900 times greater than electron. So try to remember the number 1900. So approximately we can say that here electron is 1 unit and 1900 times is the weight of a proton. So try to keep in mind that 1900 number. That after hydrogen, this process of expansion continues in the form of many steps which we can see here in this diagram. So hydrogen, we can see here, hydrogen goes into like this helium and so many steps. It ultimately settles into, very importantly, you can see here. So first is the periodic table. So hydrogen we can see here in this corner. So hydrogen, then hydrogen expands into helium, then it goes to lithium, then beryllium and boron, like that. There are the last step which is 26th step called iron. So after reaching iron state, then the star will be stabilized, or you can say that it forms to some planets or any other heavenly objects. So first initially it is hydrogen which is number 1 electron and 1 proton, and proton is 1900 times than electron. Then ultimately it reaches to iron which is electrons are 26 in number, and whereas this iron weight, that is protons, are 55.856. We can see here the value. So iron is 26 electrons and 55.8. So when we round it, this will be 56, and if you see here 26. So try to remember these numbers 26 and 56. So hydrogen is 1 and that is 1 electron and 1900 times weight is proton. Now when we see these numbers, we have certain beautiful explanation in our Varahamihira school. What is that? We have here a beautiful number called 57. So 57 is nothing but 2 to the power of 5, that is 2 multiplied 5 times, and 5 to the power of 2, that is 5 multiplied twice. So 25, that is 2 into the power of 5 is 32 and 5 to the power of 2 is 25, which becomes 57. So this 57 plays very important part, and Varahamihira says in his adhyaya called Ayurdhya Adhyaya, where it tells about the planets and their longevity. But it is basically founded on the principles of this Big Bang only. When we see that, we will know how. So this formation can be explained in this way. Let us see. So this magical number 57 can be understood in these many steps. So there are 12 rasis and 7 planets. Rahu Ketu are excluded, but we will come to later about them. So when rasis and grahas, which is 12 plus 7, it becomes 19, and this 19 is the number of letters in the first sloka of Brihad Jataka, and also 19 is the Seni Mahadasha years in Parashara, or Vimshottari Mahadasha system. And again, same 19 is the number of years for sun in Varahamira, Pinda Ayurveda. So Pinda is nothing but the formation from point to particle. So here like a point is like a virium, that is sperm, and particle is like a flesh or Pinda Mamsam. So this is the creation in cosmic V level we understood, and it is manifests the same pattern for the life forms. So when we see that same number Shani, that is Sun and Saturn, Sun is for one electron hydrogen. So that is a basic, and any, if we see Sun is a star, and Sun is not a solid body, it is composed of gas of hydrogen, therefore it is a star. So we can attribute Sun as equal to hydrogen, and whereas Saturn, which is the last one which formed, of course they are Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, which will come later, why we are not taking. So this is the how Saturn is the, that is iron attributed to Saturn is the upper limit for any star formation into planet. So here this 19 is repeated. At the same time we can see, yesterday we are talking about karma phala. So karma phala is also action, and the result for the action is of three types. So which is Sattva Gunam and Rajogunam and Tamogunam, Gunatrayi Vibhaga, which will come later, don't worry about it. But this karma is Druda, Adruda and Druda Druda. Druda means strong action, so strong motivation, strong willpower. So we will do action certain times with very strong and very committed. Whereas Adruda karma is weak, or we may not incline to do that karma, but somehow we'll do it very weakly. So Druda means strong karma, and Adruda means very weak karma, and Druda means it is in between strong and weak. So here this karmas in Varahamira school we come across in this fashion, which is generally called rule of three. In every respect will come in that pattern. Now coming to this 57, we see here 19, which is we got earlier 19. That 19 into 3, that is karmas what we have seen as previously, that will become 19 into 3 is 57. So this 57 is very repetitive, not only in this fashion, it has so many significance which I don't want to go in further, because a short video in demo we are going to discuss the beauty of why Varahamira says such importance to 57 in his Pinda Ayurveda. Now again 57 is nothing but 32 plus 25, which we are discussing. The 32 and is 2 to the power of 5 and 5 plus 5 to the power of 2. So here how this 5 and 2 are distributed. So here 2 is the star grahas, that is Prakasha grahas, which are Surya and Chandra. So you may be getting doubt that okay, Surya is a star, we can say Prakasha, but Chandra is not a star, it's a satellite. So how you take is as a Prakasha graha. But we'll come to later that apparent magnitude wise, that is the minimum amount of light they illuminate, they radiate. That when we come across, Surya is 26 and half of it will be Chandra 13. So no other planets are more than 13, but they are the less than 13 only. So here that 2 are Prakashas on based on their apparent or illuminating light, which is 2, and their children, which are Kujadi Pancha Grahas or Tara Grahas, or they are the dependent Grahas. So they, we can see that passion is 2 into power of 5, and again 5 to the power of 2, this is interrelated, that is we can say vice versa combination. We have here this equation as 57 is equal to planetaries combination and permutation in mathematical beautiful fashion. Now when come to this sloka of Varahamira in Pinda Ayurveda, he says that the maximum longevity of a person or living being when the planets all are in their exaltation. That will come later, don't worry, it's a demo class, don't worry. So when planets all are in their exaltation, so what is the maximum energy they come from on the living being in the form of lifespan. So he says about 57 plus 70. So it is how they are divided. It becomes 127 years. So in that relation, he gives importance to 57, and this 57 is what I have shown is a brief idea about Big Bang theory and hydrogen and iron, and why you can study it in future, or if you are interested you can go through science articles, and that how this is the subject of Varahamihira based on pure mathematical and scientifical. In those days how it is, they have visualized this much knowledge is beyond my comprehension. So I cannot understand, but maybe they are due to intuition they got these answers and they are more advanced. But how somehow they lost, that we lost the parampara and explanations, maybe I don't know. But even Varahamihira says himself that Purvacharya, that is all the Maharshis before him, are stated. So he is going to state in his Brihad Jataka. So in this way we should be grateful to Varahamihira, because he preserved again without losing the culture or parampara. He preserved, and it is our responsibility to see that, being an Indian and Sanatana Dharma, and also Vedic knowledge is not only for Indians and everyone in the world, in the universe, whoever aspires for the truth, that is their right to know the truth. Therefore, the Sanatana Dharma is about those living forms in this entire universe. In that respect, when we see Veda is only for those who want to know. Tato athato brahma jignasa. So here, when we see this knowledge, when we have such great in the form of like these mathematicians, it is our prime duty to preserve them by propagating or learning them properly first, then propagating and preserving in our Sanatana Dharma, and also to the benefit of mankind. So in this way, small introduction, I would like to see that how beautifully these sciences were going to learn in future classes. They are connected to many ways, which is only sample of this today. So thanking you. Jai Radhe.